Hello guys, how we doing? Welcome back to the Free Hammers live on a Tuesday morning. A couple of years have joined in the chat now. Nice to see you there. I thought we'd go through some of the headlines today, talk a little bit how we're feeling after the Newcastle game. Maybe you can comment along, guys, and we'll discuss how we're feeling and what we're thinking going towards the Leicester game on Monday. What a great result, still really, really happy with that game, still absolutely buzzing with what was a fantastic performance on Sunday afternoon. Showed some huge character, showed some determination and some fantastic team spirit against the team that we find it renownedly difficult to beat in Newcastle, and especially when a player who's got such a good record against you scores so early in a game that can throw your game plan out the window. I did hear, don't know whether Moisey's been watching, but I did hear that part of his whole team talk now is he uses the words that I use in my channel all the time, keep believing. Apparently his comments were, keep believing that you can score more than the opposition, and that's going to be the mantra for the season. So hopefully Moyes has been listening to me, and I've always said keep believing is a good way of living your life, should I say. Charlie D says good morning, and Andy says good morning as well. Did you see though on BBC website, guys, obviously Garth Crooks does his team of the week, doesn't he? Not one West Ham player. Arguably we had one of the games of the weekend and arguably one of the performances of the weekend. You could say obviously Manchester United probably were the best team of the weekend in terms of their 5-1 performance against Leeds was just outstanding. But the fact that we had no one, absolutely no one in Garth Crooks' team of the week is an absolute joke and just shows the biasness of the BBC and, that Big Six bias again. I'll tell you what, I'll quickly show you the team that was Garth Crooks' team of the week. Not insulting you guys, thinking you haven't seen it. But it just shows you, what have West Ham got to do, honestly, to get into team of the week? I know it's only a pointless team of the week, guys, but let's just show you this. Look. So this was Garth Crooks' team of the week, right? Here we go. Look. So Alisson in goal. Tegangan, I agree with. He was fantastic. Obviously, Chabola got in because of his goal. Alonso a goal, Son a goal, Pogba 4 assists, has to be in it, and obviously Fernandes with his hat trick. Greenwood, I think Antonio could have got in there. Richarlison, Benrahma potentially could have got in there. Obviously Salah was fantastic, but come on, the fact that no West Ham players even get a mention there, and I've read through the comments as well. I've had a little read through, all this where he gives these reasons, and there's no I could have put in. I could have put in. Do you know what I mean? Listen, if it was my team of the week, it's this. That's my team of the week, boys. That's my team of the week. Where's my boy? Nah. Anyway, right. So, yeah, if it was my team of the week, those two definitely would have been in it, like I say. Where's it gone? Yeah, those two definitely would have been in it. So, Garth Crooks, can't do one, mate. Who else we got here? Robert Gates says, good morning, Luke. I hope you are well. I'm very well, mate. Still a little bit tired from Sunday, to be honest with you. First time I've had a few sherbets in a while. And, it was a bit of a party. Words and Pictures says, crossed irons, football, confetti. Thank you for those powerful words. Glenn Marshall says, second half was beautiful half of fair play, stunning. Yeah, it was, mate. It was good. It was a little bit swashbuckling as well. I like to see, you know what I mean? Front four, if they stay fit, are going to give damage to a lot of people, mate. And, you add in there that I think Jesse Lingard will happen. Got to admire Andy Miles for his... he's been calling that a long time. Even when it went dead, he was still saying that he thought that Lingard will happen. It looks like it will. Might have to wait a couple, till right at the end of the window. But listen, I'm happy if Jesse joins. I've said my views on it. He's a fantastic player. He's liked by the manager. He's liked by people like Declan Rice and Noble, etc. Like I say, my only fear is that it stumps the progress of Benrahma. Absolutely love Benrahma. I was one of the ones always patient with him last year. At no point did I ever slate him. I know Paul from the channel, was getting more and more frustrated with him. Where myself, it was like, no, there's a player in now. There is going to be a top player in there. And a goal and assist on the weekend. Constant threat, constant nuisance. A lot better decision making the weekend as well. So that's my only fear is the Benrahma doesn't get pushed aside if Jesse was to come in. Gaza says, hi Luke, how are you? I'm good, mate. Philip Beard is going to be on TalkSport about 12 to talk about the takeover. Oh, thanks for letting me know that, mate. I'll get this wrapped up by about 11:15-ish or 11, and I will definitely be listening. And then you probably might see me for another video later on. I did not know that, and I was listening to TalkSport as well till about 9:30. I was listening to TalkSport. Acid says, Luke, did you watch the Under-23 last night? Apart from Manu, Yama, Arthur Johnson and Coventry being great, Okie Flex was mustard. I did, mate. I did, and I'm just going to put that comment up. Okie Flex, Neves were mustard. Yeah, Okie Flex I liked during pre-season as well, mate, to be honest with you. I thought he was looked really tasty when he came up in the Celtic game. I'm hoping we, again, not on the same level as Harry Kane, but he's going to be used the same way that Tottenham sort of eased Harry Kane in. So Harry Kane was used in the Europa League, wasn't he, originally by Tottenham? And then that's how he got his chance. And that's up to Okie Flex, to do that. Okie Flex has got to get in the team. And if he can score some goals in the Europa League ties, it will take the pressure off of Antonio. Then who knows? He may even get himself back in, mate, which I would love to see, mate. It's always good seeing the youngsters come through. But yeah, to score a hat-trick, always a good thing. Luke, don't worry about crooks. Let them all be like last season and all put our efforts down. Keep believing. Yeah, mate, that's right. Robert says, I believe Rice had a pass completion of 98%. Does he need more to make team of the round? That's exactly it, mate. The only thing Rice did wrong was he got done by St. Maxim, wasn't it, early on? But after that, he turned into an absolute monster. We see the Declan Rice that we all know and love. There's a little bit more on Declan Rice that I'll discuss in a minute, and I'm sure you all know what that will be about. Garth Brooks would be a better football pundit than Garth Crooks. Hi, mate. I hope you're well. I am, mate. I think you're a new name to channel. I've not heard that name before. Adam the Architect. I'm pleased and excited for the season that Moyes chose to attack and didn't defend and try and get the draw. Yeah, mate. 100%. Adam says, would you sign Cristiano Ronaldo for West Ham and why? 25 million fee plus 30 million wages. Who wouldn't, mate? Let's be honest. Who wouldn't take that deal? Even at 34, the geezer's going to bang in 25 goals for you. You'll get all that back in shirt sales. The grown men will go out and get Ronaldo put on the back of their shirt. All the women will get Ronaldo on the back of their shirt. He brings excitement to the club. Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't sign Ronaldo? I think that's. I don't think there's anyone that wouldn't sign him if they had the chance. Luke, we signed Lingard. Does he go straight back in the team? No. He's got to. Got to get a chance at some point, but no, there's no reason to change that team. The only thing that needs changing in that team for me at the moment is a centre back and maybe a left back. But I like Cresswell, and Cresswell did score, but he just defensive wise, he can get caught out with pace, and so maybe a bit of balance would be okay if we had just the same sort of level of left back as we do right back. But then you could argue that Soufal's delivery is not anywhere near the delivery of Cresswell. So it's a tough one, mate. It's a tough one. Good morning, Luke. Good morning, Matt. Hope you're well. So no more pie news. Apparently, one of the people in the chat just then, mate, said that Philip Beard is going to make a statement at 12. And there you go. Just put that out for you. He's going to be on TalkSport at 12. So I will definitely have this wrapped up by then. and do a video, and then hopefully see what comes out of it, and it might spurn another video later on, mate. Gaza, he's just come back from COVID, plus we have a lot of games this season. I don't think Jesse Lingard gets straight in the first 11. He's had no more season. Benny and Bowen finals are just too exciting. Yeah, how good was Bowen as well? Listen, if Paul was the one digging Ben Rama out last season, I was the one digging out Bowen. I found Bowen quite frustrating towards the end, very greedy and a decision maker. But I tell you what, if he would have put that chance in when he went through 2 or 3 players and just the goalkeeper's in the right place at the right time, that would have been up there for goal of the month this early. Yeah, he looks busy. He looks hungry and sharp, doesn't he? CR7 to West Ham makes commercial sense, doesn't it? Especially if the club wants to earn money. But it will never happen, mate. It will never, ever happen. I would love to see it, but it will never, ever happen. Philip Beard is on TalkSport at 12 p.m. Luke, you should do a live reaction to Philip Beard interview. Yeah, but I want you all to hear it first. I want you all to hear it at the same time, and then I need time to sort of let it sink in what's happening. I'm just going to actually text Paul whilst we're live and tell him that we're on that. Let me just tell him, and then I'll carry on the show. So Philip Beard on TalkSport at 12. There we go. So he knows as well. So he gets that information as well. Peter says, at least you do not do clickbait like the other channels. That drives me nuts. Yeah, do you know what it is? You know what it is? I'm not very good at making thumbnails either. So that probably reduces the chance of me doing clickbait stuff. And you know what? I'll be honest with you. With the YouTube stuff, I've said so many times, guys, you're not going to make much money out of it unless you're a big boy channel, like real big boy channel. I assume West Ham TV and Hamish Chat earn a decent amount of money from it, but not levels. Do you know what I mean? Like Robbie from Arsenal Fan TV and people like Chaos and people like that. Shall I tell you straight up now, right? On average, this channel, if I made a video every day and it got a sort of consistently sort of 800 views or whatever, I would say that it makes about £100 a month. And me and Paul, split about 50 quid each. 50 quid each, that's all it is. And you know what? This program I use now, called StreamYard, that costs £15 a month straight away. So I make about 35 quid. A nice little takeaway or a night out down a pub with my missus. That is about it. That's all it is. So this show is not about money. It's just a laugh. I like talking to you, do you know what I mean? And I'm telling you guys, when I do go a West Ham game again, which will be later in the season, I will 100%, if you're there, come and see me. I'll probably go to the boats next game. I'm trying to have a look at a game that I want to go to. It's tough because my missus works alternate weekends, so I have to really look ahead and find a game that I want to go to. But yeah, Nan Moyes, he will drop Benny for Jesse if he signs. In my opinion, love both, but Benny for me is class. Yeah, mate, there's a top player there. Really, really is. They need to stop digging themselves in a hole. Nothing good will come for this interview. Fans have already made up their mind as far as I can gather. Yeah, mate, it just seems messy. It seems just doesn't seem good the way they're going about their business. Lingard has to work his way into the team. Benny and Bowen playing well, unless we've got 1 or 2 injuries. Yeah. Well, he might get, what it is, we'll probably sign him and then, one of them will, become the consistent Europa League player because there is 6 games at least. And, as I said to you before, there's a good chance we get at least 10 games in either Europa League or if we dropped into Europa League conference, we'd have a few games in there as well. So, we have got Europe for quite a bit of the season. Agree with Peter. The times I've seen Tammy, Milenkovic and Lingard have already signed, only to find out, of course. Yeah, no, mate, I've said it a couple of videos ago, didn't I? Until I see them with a shirt on the website, signing the contract, or they've got their lovely little sexy announcement video, then I don't believe nothing, mate. I really don't. I was convinced that Milenkovic was signed. And that one's gone down to haywire. It looks like he could sign for dirty Spurs, mate, which is awful. Zuma deal looks like, he wants quite a few quid. I think he wants about 120 grand a week or 100 grand a week, whatever it is, which is He's okay, but surely we can get another player for that. And then I'll just finish these comments now. I've got a few things to say. I have no respect for these channels. That new one with a Bristol bloke, the daily banter is arrogance beyond belief. No comment on that. Luke, the fans was amazing on Sunday. Still lost my voice now. What a performance from the front three. Funnels was my man of the match. Love him. Yeah, I'll see your interview, mate, on West Ham Fan TV, mate. Yeah, I think you summed it up nicely. I suppose you were still was awake after, obviously, you went to Friday night pint as well. So I suppose you still had the energy, mate. Trev Chu says, morning. That banter channel is rubbish and chatting nonsense. These are not my words, guys. And he totally agree with you. Love Fornells. I do love Fornells as well. When is Europa League draw, please, lads? I believe it is next week, mate. I believe it is next Friday. For some reason, I think I've got it on the calendar on my phone. 2 seconds. Yes, 27th. I believe it is the 27th, mate. Next Friday, yeah. So, again, another excuse to make a video, and I have to check the time of it. I have to check the time. Does anyone know the actual time? That's the next question, the time. But yeah, very exciting. I can't wait to see that, I have to say. I don't understand what happened with Milenkovic. Even with the agent's fee, so much cheaper and better than Zoom. I agree, mate. I would have really liked to have seen him come. Morning, Luke and chaps. I give up looking. I wait for you now. I'll be honest, mate. I do it spare at the moment. You know, honestly, barring the Saturday and Sunday one, when I do these live shows, they're the ones that are usually quite scheduled. But I sit there and I go, I wake up in the morning when I'm off at the minute. Obviously, I've got 2 weeks left. I'm like, oh, I'll do one at 10. Or I'll do one at 11. Then it's like, I ends up 1 o'clock. Andy will tell you, he's probably sat there and seen me change the thing to like, oh, 2:30 now. Oh, 2 now. Or something comes up and my dad will go, oh, yeah, you need to come around and do this for me. Hi, Trev Tube, how are you? I'll let Trev Tube answer that himself. It was amazing to watch the fan games and see everyone buzzing. Yeah, good to see little Jake on there as well. Do like little Jake. One thing having the fans back was great to see 100% how football should be. That's bloody right, mate. Side midday on the midday on the 27th. Okay, yeah, so we'll keep an eye out for that next week, guys. I really think we get Celtic or Rangers in the draw. Yeah, maybe one of them. I want Marseille. I really, really want Marseille. All good, mate. Okay, that was you answering the question. You should get on the day's banter. Steve is a nice bloke, and all the money goes to Dylan Tobias, 38 charity. He has links from the past involvement with the club, but he does spell in the note info. Yeah, so if his money's going to the charity, then you've got to give him credit for that. Yeah, I'm fine, thanks. Do you still have tangerine shorts and white shirt 1970s for Cumberland School's football team? No, it's more like a Brentford kit now. When I don't work at Cumberland anymore. I work at a primary school now. But when I did work at Cumberland, it was like Brentford, red and white with black shorts. Yeah, good question. Huh? Yeah, I'm sure you've all seen it, guys, as well today. Talksport, talking of Talksport, have you seen old mouthpiece? Old Simon Jordan saying about Declan Rice. Is he worth? He's not worth 100 million. It's all if he was worth 100 million, someone would have bought him by now. Which bear with me, guys. Which listen. He's 100 million to us, and that's the most important thing. He's 100 million to us. Is any player worth 100 million? No. Is Jack Grealish worth 100 million? No. There are players that you could say that are in that upper level, which 100 million you'd go, yeah, okay. Like a Haaland and an Mbappe, players like that are just, totally outstanding players. If Jack Grealish is worth 100 million, and how much is Phil Foden worth? Do you know what I mean? That's where we go with that. But on the terms of if he was worth 100 million, someone would come in for him. Chelsea wanted him. I would assume that Manchester United would have wanted him as well. But that's how much he's worth to West Ham. That's the asking price, and for once, you got to agree with that. If don't get me wrong, if 100 million was put on the table and Gold, Sullivan and Brady accepted it, it's fair enough. It's such big money. I don't want to sell him. I really don't want to sell him, but you've got to say that 100 million you probably would sell. It's a fantastic price. And as you say, no player is worth 100 million. There's no player that's worth 100 million. Paul Brush was our school captain at the time. Well, how is Jack Grealish worth 100 million, but Rice isn't? It's a joke. Yeah, Rice, arguably one of England's best players at the Euros. And to be honest with you, the comments, if you see it on Twitter where they've put it out, a lot of the comments is from neutral fans that wouldn't have seen West Ham play every week and see how important, how vital he is. And it's only when teams play against Dex, they go, "Oh, you know what? This boy, he's a bit of a player, mate. You know what Dex is getting slowly getting that like Scott Parker bit about him, where like he'll get the ball and drive with it and really try and carry the team and scruff of the neck performances. And that's, if he goes on and, gets that, because Scott Parker was nowhere near as good at intercepting the ball as Declan Rice is and reading the play. He got himself about Scotty. But what Dex needs to do now is get the side of Scotty Parker where he was good at travelling forward and getting some goals in him. And I'll tell you what, you're going to have a serious player there. And I'll see his interview with Tubes at the weekend, and he said he has discussed with Moyes about playing that number 8 role, obviously the shirt number of Scott Parker. So maybe that's something to see in the future. James, good to see you, mate. Rice is priceless. James, obviously, if you didn't know, guys, people that are watching live, James was one of the first people that I did this new thing. So if you do appear on the show, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that bit of the video and release it as a short so that you get that to keep. It's sort of like, it's not to keep, but like you get to be like, oh, that was my bit on the show. So it makes it a bit more your show than just mine and Paul's show. It's, as we said, the Three Hammers no longer has the third hammer. Obviously, he's now left the show. And to be honest with you, I don't even talk to him anymore. So the third hammer now is you guys, the fans. You are the third hammer. John, was he playing sweeper? Adam Architect said, Days banter post videos with the titles Lingard signs, but they are ironic titles to take the absolute mickey out of the account online who confirms the false information. Don't care what Simon Jordan says. I think most people don't really care what he thinks, mate. People read his channel too, and literally they need to see the lighter side of it. I can't say I've seen much of it. I've seen him on Jake's channel. I've got no opinion on it. Do you know what I mean? That's not me sitting on the fence. I find it quite funny, to be honest with you. Roy Keane was slagging off Dex a while ago. And now he's suggesting he's better than Matic and Fred, and Man United need him, even in front of McTominay. Yeah, and did we see Rio today released an article in the Daily Mirror saying that there's 2 players that Manchester United need to buy. I can't remember who the other one was, but the other one was Declan Rice. His words were, and I quote, I think Declan Rice would be a massive addition to this squad. I'm a massive fan of his. I would love to see him keep progressing and come to Manchester United. He was brilliant for England in the summer, and I think if West Ham keep him, they've done unbelievably well. I think he does well staying at West Ham, or if he goes. Said by Rio Ferdinand, the man who loves West Ham and wants to help take over the club. Okay, Rio, go do one, mate. Duncan says, how could they say that when Sancho was 100 million, couldn't get in the England team? That was the first name on the team show, load of tosh. That's right, mate. And arguably, behind maybe someone like Shaw, was one of our best players as well, mate. Definitely in the top 3 players at Rice. Luke, the Passion Rice showed, don't know how much you saw on Sky, but what he does to the fans and teammates ain't an act. He loves this club, and I think 2 more years at least, fingers crossed. I hope so, mate. I hope so. You know what it is, mate? It's all down to what this season brings, I know it was only the first game, but I took a lot out of that game. As I said in my Keep Believing video, which I did yesterday, I took a lot out of it. you know, you can see this team it's got a bit about it, mate. It's got a bit of character. It's got a bit of that lad culture, that they all get along. They all want to work for each other. They all fall over each other. The manager has built something and instilled. He's got some fantastic characters in there. And it shows on the pitch, the fitness levels, everything. You know, if we have a good season, you know, do some bits in the Europa League and, you know, really give the cups a good go. Stuart Pearce said that, you know, and Moisey both said that they want to give every competition a go this year. So if we see that, and Rice sees that ambition, who knows? Who knows? Deck hasn't even had a full pre-season. There's more to come. That's a good point, mate. That's a fantastic point. Obviously, he hasn't played much pre-season, has he? So yeah, give him, you know, 2-3 more games, and he'll be right up again to what that England level was. That's a very good point, mate. Too right. I don't watch TalkSport anymore due to how biased and clueless they are, mate. And Gaza agrees with you there, mate. What else we got? Let's get rid of that banner. Let's get on my nerves. So yeah, I will do another live show later in the week, guys. Obviously, it will be the Leicester build-up show. And if there's another day in the week that I've got, what we got? Yeah, so yeah, Thursday I'll probably do the Leicester preview show. I'll release the FIFA one because I know some of you really like that. Not all of you liked it. It's more for the younger fans. You know, I want to sort of make it a bit like dynamic. So it's like we've got the chat with you guys, and then the younger lot can watch the FIFA and enjoy that. So I'm trying to, you know, make the channel a bit more diverse and stuff. But yeah, any suggestions? You know, I'm here to take them, mate. Rio can do one. He cost Harry his job when he went to Leeds as well. Also, Moyes, mate, he was a lot of the reason that Moyes, you know, the players started going up in arms against Moyes when he was at Manchester United. Once Deck starts scoring from deep, he'll become the new Brian Robson, not Pop Robson, the other one. Yeah, the Brian Robson, the Manchester United one. Just seeing if there's any other news here, guys, quickly before I move on. Like I say, most of the news, if you type it in on Google or the One Football app, is about Lingard. Obviously, Lingard's the main news. So I don't want to keep rehashing over that. We just wait and see what happens there. Obviously, there's the Zuma stuff as well. Lots of stuff about Oki Flex as well. Obviously, having a fantastic evening last night, getting his hat-trick. Just see if there's anything else interesting. No, it's mostly Lingard, to be honest with you. So, yeah, I'm not going to sit here and discuss Lingard all day because we don't know what's going to happen there. I would play the under-23s in the League Cup. Looked good last night and give them match experience. Good shout, mate. You know, the early rounds, why not? You know, we see, what was it? Was it 8-0 that game against Macclesfield a couple of years ago when Diagana sort of made his, you know, announced himself. So it'd be nice to see. Can't believe how well the 23s did last night. Yeah, it was brilliant, mate. Brilliant performance. Keep the walks down the Greenway. Always a nice feature of chat. Yeah, mate. As soon as I go back to work in a couple of weeks' time, we'll be able to do them Greenway videos again. Obviously, I've not been down to London because I live in Benfleet, so I've got no reason to go down there. You know, apart from my missus' family still lives just behind Queen's Market, but apart from that, I've got no reason to go down there, mate. Yeah, Glenn, they look great, especially Oki Flex, but Neves looked really promising despite his youth. Bowen didn't get the headlines, but another player that I think works so hard and can keep getting better. I really like his character, a property player. Yeah, he reminds me a little bit of Craig Bellamy. Bowen, he's got potential to be that sort of player, you know, really just constantly at your heels, working hard. Only thing for me is that decision making and just that little bit more composure. Like I thought he had it when he beat them 3 blokes in the Newcastle game. But yeah, if he could just get that little bit of composure, that's the only thing in his game that for me that just frustrates me a little bit. But he is a good player, and there is a very good player in there. Nothing changed since Sunday. Great team performance, excellent spirit, but no squad depth. Yeah, that's the only thing. I know Nicky said it as well. You know, when you're looking at the bench, you're thinking, oh, if we would have gone 3-2 down, or let's say the penalty didn't happen and he's looking for options, there weren't much there. And that's where we just need to, Moyes needs to give himself some options in the next, 13 days, 14 days left of the window. I think there's going to be some busyness. We might not see anything this week, but next week if we're going to do any business, it's going to get really, really hot and heated, and there'll be plenty of videos probably coming out next week. Don't you think Lingard is getting old? Who do you drop if he comes in? No, mate, that's what he's peak age, and he's peak age, and no one can deny how good he was when he played for us. But the question, who do you drop? It's a tough question, mate. I don't want it to be Benrahma. I don't believe Bowen deserves to be dropped. And for me, Fornals is really, really good. I know James, if James is still watching, I asked James that question the other day, and James said it should be, he would drop Fornals. He says that Fornals plays, and a good point that James did make on that really was he believes Fornals plays because he does a lot of covering for the left-back position. So his argument was if West Ham went out and got a good left-back, that Fornals probably wouldn't be as needed as much because the left-back could do what he wants to do. And then he would come out, Benrahma would go to the left, Lingard would go to the middle. It's a tough one, mate, at this. Because I like all them players. I really do. I like all four of them. And it would be great to have any of them. We need to field our strongest possible side in every competition we do. But that's why we need some depth, though, Adam. You can't... That 11 can't start, 38 Premier League games, add on that, potentially 10 Europe games. Then that's it in 40 games. You've got a couple of rounds of the League Cup, a couple of rounds of the FA Cup. You're in 52 games. Like, that's a hell of a lot of games to ask the same team to play, especially someone like Antonio who always gets injured. Or Bonner always gets injured. We need some depth there, mate. But I understand what you're saying. Duncan, we need depth. Lingard, he was a good team spirit, plus he's great game management. He is. And he's one of those players as well, you get one of them in, then it starts attracting other players thinking, do you know what, West Ham ain't that bad. West Ham's not that bad a club to go to. And it sends out a little bit of a message to these other players. Oh, what happened now? Are you excited for the Europa League drop? I am, mate. I'm very excited. Very, very excited. I'm so glad we've actually guaranteed ourselves at least a few games. That's the most important thing. We're not got to have that fear of going out at just the final carrot before the group stage. I think he has a couple of premium seasons left him in. What is he, 28? Might play deeper in his 30s or could end up as a forward, pick his moments to burst. Yeah, mate, I'm not against selling God signing at all. So I've skipped ahead a little bit there. I just want to go back because as you do know, guys, I try to read every single comment. It's not about dropping players, it's about rotation and squad football. Lanzini did well when he came on for Dex at the end of last season and also in pre-season. I really like Fornals and I think he'll shine this season. Yeah, let's not forget about Lanzini. He's been good every time he's come in. How could we not get Milenkovic over the line? Plus go for a higher demanding Chelsea reject. So what, an extra 2-3 million. Wish we had some vision. I know, mate. It's just the way it's going to be until they go, unfortunately. I watch Sky Sports Football. Not so much Sky Pundits and Media because it's all about the top four. AFC, Tottenham. West Ham was 6th place last year. Don't get talked about a lot. So thank you for your answers. Thanks, mate. Thanks, David. Nice. Yeah, no, I agree, mate. It was as if the weekend, and to be fair, I wasn't paying that much attention because I was drinking and I was seeing my mates that I hadn't seen for a couple of years. It felt like the West Ham game in the middle was a hindrance that it got in the way of the build-up for the Tottenham Man City game. That's how it felt. Like, actually, we don't want to talk about that. We're going to talk about how good Manchester United was yesterday. We're going to talk about how good Liverpool was. Give West Ham about 10 minutes. Give Newcastle about 10 minutes. And then that's it. It's just the way it is, mate, unfortunately. With Antonio fit all season, a stretch I know, how many goals do you think is a good target for him? Mate, if Antonio stayed fit all season, I believe he could get 18 goals. I do. I think he would definitely be capable of that. He's good for ones here and there, and then he'll go and get the twos. So yeah, a full season, which again are very unlikely, like you say. I believe, he could get anywhere between 15 and 18 goals, I believe, and I do believe, Di Canio's record will fall, within the next sort of 2 or 3 games. Plus 7 international games before December. You can't drop Fornals. His defensive cover is essential. If you've got Cresswell pushing up or Benrahma and Lingard not trekking back, he puts the tackles in. But like I say, like what John said, though, I'll give you that question. If we did sign a better left back, in terms of defensive, would that affect Fornals? Because then if there's if we had a left back that was, really good, solid defender and didn't need as much cover as maybe Cresswell does, could that affect his position? Coventry should get a run out soon. He would be good in the cups and Europe, of course. He definitely would, mate. And I do want to see Mark get some games as well. I really do. We've got a good 46 games minimum. Rotation is key. Jesse could come in and do a job, but still need a centre-back and a striker. We definitely need the striker, mate, and a centre-back because of Oggy. Oggy's injury record, mate. I agree, Trevor. All I meant was he's coming. Sorry, all I meant he was coming. He's not coming. It's like a TV saga. I'd rather see Coventry come on than Noble. So, yeah, I think we'd all rather see Coventry play, but I do want Noble to get a couple of games. It is his last season. I'm a little bit, sentimental with that. It'd be nice to see him even break Di Canio's record. I think he's only a goal behind now as well, isn't it? So it'd be nice if they, they both, but. Or wouldn't it be nice if Noble, ended up with 50 Premier League goals for West Ham, which I believe he only needs 3 goals for that, 3-4 goals. So even if he can get that this season, it would be nice, wouldn't it? Whilst I'm reading these comments, guys, I want you to put in there, there's 30 odd of you, put in there, who is your penalty taker? Who do you want taking penalties? That's something we'll discuss just to sort of finish up in a minute. I see your point, but he's a valuable player. Noble can still do a job, and in the 20 games he played last season, he didn't do that badly. No, he didn't. Mate. Does Arthur get back in a team if we play wing backs against Leicester? Yeah, I do like Arthur. I do like him at wing back. I have to say, his skills and trickery are second to none, barring Benrahma. But I'd like to see Benny and Masuaku play together. I think that could be quite interesting with the skills. They could absolutely terrorise defenders. They really could. Amazing what form Benny has shown with a bit of encouragement. Let's hope Divering doesn't sub him every game. I hope not, mate. I really hope not. I think he's going to be a key one of our key players this year. I really don't think Moyes will sign a striker. The thing is, we've got to sign one next season. And if we don't sign one this season, we've definitely got to sign one next season. Antonio will be 32. So Matt says Rice. Cresswell. I'll give you mine in a minute. Cresswell. Socek. Benrahma. Benny the Ball has to take penalties. Cresswell. Benrahma. Cresswell, Rice. It'd be good if it was like NFL, mate. Bring Noble on just for penalties. Wouldn't it be good if you could do that, like NFL? Bring on the kicker. For me, it's Cresswell. I just think he's the sweetest striker of the ball at the club. I really do. I think the way he strikes the ball is just fantastic. Beautiful technique. But I have seen that Bowen was a really good penalty taker for Hull as well. So he's definitely an option. And then Socek's apparently got a good record as well. But yeah, we need to have a definite penalty taker. Someone who's, okay, he takes the penalties. And, we had a good left back, couple of good fullbacks that took penalties, and Glenn Marshall's just touched on it there. Stewart and Dick, some of the best penalty takers ever. So I wouldn't be against that. Right, I'm going to go back to this comment. For the free kits, what 3 names would you get on the shirt this season? Purely as a romantic, and it's his last ever season at the club, I think everyone should have one of their shirts with Mark Noble on it. So that's one gone. Mark Noble, maybe the home shirt for Mark. Because he's my favourite player, well, not my favourite player, but he's the player that I'm most excited by. I would get Benrahma this year. If I was convinced that he was going to stay for another 2 years, I would definitely have Rice. But I'm trying to think. I do love Big Tom as well. I wouldn't mind Big Tom on on the back of the shirt. Yeah, so them ones I think, but Noble has to be one of them, mate. Is Oki Flex our new number 2 striker? He ain't doing bad so far. Yeah, mate. If I don't know if you've been watching it the whole way, I did say that I think he's going to get a chance in the Europa League, and I think you might see if he can get a couple of goals in the Europa League, then we will see what happens. Why not Cressy? Turned him into Ray Stewart. Benrahma scored all of his pens for Brentford. He was their first choice. There we go. Some inside info there. Mark Noble on a home shirts. Terminator pens for Thunderbolts. Yeah, mate. I tell you what, you weren't saving them. I've got a home shirt with Noble and Europa. Away I got Cresswell, and the third I'm going to get Antonio or Rice. All good shouts from that. I think I'm going to wrap it up there, guys. I didn't want to go too long. Half hour's, a nice little time. I'll be back later in the week to do my Leicester preview. That'll be a live one where you guys are free to come on the show if you want to talk West Ham. I'll do the Talk West Ham on the Friday. I'll do the preview on the Wednesday, so that'll be 2 live shows. You might see me again later because obviously I've just found out that Philip Beard is going to be on TalkSport at 12. So I'll listen to that, see what comes of that, and I may be live straight after that as well. So hopefully you guys are about for that as well later. As Derek says, actually I'm going to put your comment up first, mate. Thanks a lot, much appreciated. And as Derek says every week, guys, can you hit the like button for me? It really helps me out. And if you've got any friends that are West Ham fans or any family that are West Ham fans, please tell them about the channel, guys. It'd be nice to get our subscribers up to 4K by the end of the season. Until next time, guys, come on your irons, keep believing. Let's go.